Soccer, Jonathan's abiding passion. His mother brought the family to Washington, D.C. when he was 6 years old. He started playing soccer right away. But his football career was nipped in the bud.
They told us that the next week we're going to Brazil for this tournament. They said to bring our paperwork in next practice, our documents. And I spoke to the coach and I told him my situation, how I don't have any papers or anything. And he told me that, well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to drop you from the roster. You can't be playing no more.
It was a terrible disappointment. But when he and his mother left Bolivia and entered the U.S. 14 years ago, they had no papers.
I felt like I was so close to accomplishing what I wanted, but there was something right there that was stopping me from trying to accomplish my dreams.
Today, Jonathan is celebrating his 20th birthday with his mother, his sister, and a friend of the family who works with immigrants.
There is a culture in many places in the United States of fear of immigrants, of wishing people that were different to go home.
19-year-old Evan knows how Jonathan feels. He lives in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Despite good grades, he's not allowed to go to university because he doesn't have a residence permit.
It's kind of frustrating at the same time because you want to do something, but yet you can't because there's that little block in front of you that you just can't get over yet. So it's kind of you're getting closer, but yeah, at the same time you can't actually reach it because you're stuck with it.
His parents moved to the U.S. from Mexico when he was a child. He now works 11-hour days in a restaurant and volunteers as a paramedic.
I'm in the ambulances, going around responding to calls. When people call 911 and they need an ambulance, we go and then we help them out.
What he really wants is to be a doctor. But recently, someone at the hospital told him to get lost because he had no papers.
I'm not hurting anybody. On the other hand, I'm trying to help people. And yeah, I don't feel it should be done like that, where just people try to block you.
Evan turned to the organization Just Neighbors for help. Now the organization can actually do something thanks to President Obama's recent relaxation of immigration policy.
It means that if they're in the appropriate age range, 15 to 30, that they have no papers, that they've been in the U.S. at least 5 years and came before they were 15 years old, they can apply for deferred action and for a work permit, so they can work lawfully in the United States and they won't have to worry about being deported.
Just Neighbors is well aware that under Obama's plan, those who qualify would only be allowed to live and work in the U.S. for 2 years. And it doesn't mean young people like Evan or Jonathan can apply for U.S. citizenship. Jonathan still plays soccer. These days, he also goes to college and is hoping to train as a policeman one day. In addition to his interest in medicine, Evan is very keen on American history. He visits the museums in Fredericksburg.
This is the place where George Washington grew up. He was a famous person. He made history. And just like that, we're hoping that somebody or someone will make history again and let people like us who grew up here and who consider each other Americans will do something to let us stay.
Evan and hundreds of thousands of others like him hope that Obama's new policy is a first step towards a long-term solution.